If you are in the job market and want to work for the government in South Africa, avoid these mistakes when applying. Welcome back to Public Administration 101, proudly brought to you by Kano Consultants for professional advice you can trust. In this video, we list some mistakes that people make when applying for a government job in South Africa. Stay tuned until the end of the video to check out the 5 important tips to remember before you start applying for your next government job. Before we get into today's video, if you are watching this on YouTube, we would like to remind you to please check out our other videos on public administration under this channel, and don't forget to like this video and subscribe for more content. Now, let us get into today's video. As an introduction, you should know that a job application is often the first opportunity for you to make a good impression on your prospective employer and to increase your chances of being called for an interview and ultimately be hired. Should you wish to work for the South African government, the application process in most instances starts with completing the Z83 application form. So, what is a Z83 application form? The Z83 is an application form used for employment in national and provincial government departments, as well as some state-owned entities and various other government institutions. The purpose of the Z83 is to assist a government department in selecting the person for the advertised post and to identify candidates to be interviewed. Therefore, you need to fill in all sections of the form completely, accurately, and legibly. Here are 5 common mistakes that people often make when completing a Z83 application form. And most importantly, how to avoid making similar mistakes. The first mistake that people make is not attaching the Z83 application form, as indicated. A Z83 is an employment application form designed to assist government departments in choosing the right person for the position. So, if you are interested in working for the South African government, you must make sure that you complete and attach the Z83 form in order to ensure that your application is processed. The next mistake that job seekers often make is using an outdated Z83 application form. From time to time, the government normally amend and updates the Z83 application form. So, make sure you use the latest version. You can find the version date on the top right corner of the form. As at the date of posting this video, the latest version of the Z83 form is, with effect from the 1st of January 2021. So, make sure you are using the latest Z83 form in order to ensure that your application is not disqualified. And by the way, you can download a copy of this form by clicking on the link on our comments section below. You can also obtain the latest form through the DPSA website, or get a copy from your nearest government offices. The next common mistake people make is not completing the correct reference number, position, and department. Every vacancy advertised by the South African government normally includes a reference number, the name of the department, and the position. So, make sure you fill in the reference number, the position, and the department's name correctly on the Z83 form, as indicated on the job advert. The reference number and the position advertised, as well as the department's name, should be completed in the provided space. The reason for completing this information is that a government department or state institution may have advertised a number of positions and have subsequently received lots of applications. So, this is to make sure your form is correctly filed. The next mistake people often make is not completing the Z83 form correctly and in full. So, make sure that you complete the Z83 form correctly and in full. To illustrate this, let us explain how the Z83 form is structured. The Z83 form is divided into 7 sections. Part A is where the details of the advertised post must be completed. As discussed previously, this is where you indicate the reference number and the position being advertised, as well as the department's or the government institution's name. Part B is for personal information. It is also important to mention that you must complete this section in full, even if the information appears on your CV. Also make sure that your personal details on the form are the same information on your ID. Part C is where you fill in your contact details and how you would like to be contacted. Therefore, make sure you provide the correct contact details so that the department is able to get in touch with you regarding your application and its outcome. Part D is where you complete the South African languages you might be proficient in. Please note that these are not only the ones you might have studied, but whichever South African language you might know how to read, how to write, or even speak. Part E is where you complete any formal qualification you have obtained, starting with your highest level of education to the lowest level. If the space provided is not enough, you are allowed to indicate "See attached CV." Also remember to include any qualifications you might currently be studying at the time of the application, as well as the institution, even if you have not yet completed that qualification. Part F is where you complete any work experience you might have, starting with your current employment. Similar with the previous section, if this space is not enough, then refer the department to the attached CV. Part F also asks you to disclose if there are any conditions that prevents you from being reappointed. If you were previously employed in public service, just indicate yes or no. And if yes, provide relevant details. If no, write not applicable. This is a good time to remind you that you must answer all sections of the Z83 form. It is also acceptable for an applicant to indicate not applicable. But what is not acceptable is to just leave a section blank. Part G is where you complete at least 3 references which the department can contact to confirm your employment history, or even verify any other information you might have included in your application form. Just to repeat, it is important that you complete and answer all sections of the form, and not to leave any sections blank. Where the information is not applicable, make sure you indicate so by writing "not applicable." The last, but certainly not least, mistake that people tend to make is not signing the Z83 form. There's a space provided in the form to initial and to sign. So make sure you initial both pages of the Z83 form and sign on the last page of the form. In conclusion, an application is often the first opportunity for you to make a good impression on your prospective employer and to increase your chances of being called for an interview and to be hired. In the case of working for the government of South Africa, this usually starts with completing the Z83 form. So, when applying for a South African government job in the national or provincial departments, remember these 5 important tips. 1. Attach the Z83 form. 2. Make sure it is the updated Z83 form. 3. Complete the correct reference number, position, and the department's name. 4. Fill the form correctly and completely. 5. Initial each page and sign the form. Let us know if this video was helpful by leaving us a comment below, and whether you believe this will improve your chances in your application process. You can also suggest websites and links where people can find government jobs in South Africa. If your application is successful and you are called for an interview, you can prepare for that interview by checking out some of the content on public administration under our channel. And don't forget to like this video and subscribe to our channel for more content. And remember to turn on the notification button to make sure that you don't miss out when we post new videos. You can also connect with us by following us on social media at Consult Kano, and continue the conversation by leaving us a comment below or tagging us on social media using the hashtag #ConsultKano. Thank you again for watching. Join us again next time for another video. Until then, check out these other videos. Kano Consultants, for professional advice you can trust.